This episode of the My Latin Life podcast is brought to you by BitRefill. BitRefill is the best way to spend your crypto in Latin America. Purchase gift cards or mobile refills from more than 3,500 brands in 186 countries instantly, safely, and privately. Visit bitrefill.com for more information. Welcome back to the My Latin Life podcast. Since 2014, My Latin Life has been your trusted guide to traveling and living in Latin America. Today, my guest is Alejandro Garza. He's the director of BitcoinHubs.io, which is bringing Bitcoin education to the school systems of Latin America. They have projects in El Salvador, Mexico, and I'm sure have grand plans for the future. So we welcome Alejandro to the podcast.
Thank you very much for inviting me to your podcast. I'm a huge fan. I'm the director of Bitcoin Hubs, which is located on Mexico. This is a project located on Mexico, and well, we have very interesting things to tell you about Bitcoin adoption here in Mexico.
Awesome. And we got connected because you listened to the Andrew Howard episode, which is another podcast that you guys can listen to. Andrew Howard is an American who's living in San Miguel de Allende. And among other things, he's been helping with the Mi Primer Bitcoin class. That's now if I'm saying this right, it's now a mandatory class as part of the university in San Miguel. And it's basically a program that started in El Salvador, and then a team from El Salvador came to Mexico, shared how to run the Mi Primer Bitcoin class, and bringing crypto education to Mexico, which is really interesting.
Yeah, basically, this project brought Mi Primer Bitcoin to Mexico. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But first of all, let's talk about Bitcoin Hubs. What is Bitcoin Hubs in
Okay.
Mexico, right? So Bitcoin Hubs is a project inspired in the advancements shaped in El Salvador. Okay, we realized that after adopting Bitcoin in this country, the country grew in every aspect, right? Like its economy, the tourism, even though the security in Salvador uh, grew after they decided to adopt Bitcoin as a legal currency, right? So we inspired on this to create Bitcoin hubs. All right, we're sure that Mexico has everything to become an orange country, and well, after we make the orange peel on Mexico will grow as a country, right? So we created this Bitcoin hubs in order to grow the adoption and acceptance of Bitcoin in Mexico by creating these attractive hubs in the cities that we decided, or we studied the market in Mexico and look for the right spots to create these hubs, starting in San Miguel de Allende, which Andrew talked about this and in the podcast with you guys, and well, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. All right. So we studied the market and find out that San Miguel is a great city to start a Bitcoin hub because this is not like a big city, so we can concentrate our efforts and all this things that we have taught for the project, right? So we Bitcoin Hubs tries to create a whole experience of using Bitcoin where it's located, so that the users can live a whole life on Bitcoin, right? So we created this a whole experience or ecosystem that where you can which includes commerces that accept Bitcoin as payment method, ambassadors that will maximize these efforts on with the community, ATMs where you can always buy more Bitcoins at any time, events to promote the use of Bitcoin, and well, education that will help us to educate, yeah, to educate the local community into adoption of Bitcoin, right?
Hmm. And so there's definitely a big movement of Bitcoin ATMs throughout Latin America. And I know some of the guys that have been the first to bring these ATM machines to Latin America, to Panama and Paraguay and Mexico and so forth. And so, are you looking for places that already have lots of ATM machines? Is that an important element, or are you looking for maybe school systems that are advanced or open to new technologies, or like what are some of the best indicators of a city that's open to it to Bitcoin adoption?
Well, first of all, we're looking for a city that has that is not that big as Mexico City, because I mean, if you get let's talk about a number like 100 places that accept Bitcoin, or I don't know, 200 commerces that accept Bitcoin won't be, I mean, they won't be located on the same area. So the user won't have this whole experience of living on Bitcoin, right? So regarding the cities, we looked at they have a very, like they have already tourism, so that users from all around the world can visit this or be attracted to these cities. Also, we're looking for places that will be open to accept new technologies like San Miguel de Allende. And
Mhm.
also, I mean, regarding the education, we started talks with this school that is it's called Universidad Tecnológica de San Miguel de Allende, which they're well, they were really open to accept the Bitcoin course and their curriculum, because they know the importance of this to their students. So it's great that after they graduate, they will be able to know how Bitcoin works, and well, this will improve the adoption as it is, right? Because they
Mhm.
graduate around 3,000 students per year. So imagine that. Imagine this in 3 years from now, there will be uh, there will be 9,000 students graduated with a Bitcoin course, right?
Mhm.
So
Interesting.
also, yeah. So also, I mean, we're not focused just on the education. We're focused on commerces and well, making this whole ecosystem so you can live and a whole life or a whole experience in Bitcoin. So this ecosystem will or commerce types will be including lodging. Right now I mean, we can say that we have hotels that accept Bitcoin, starting from hotel boutiques till luxury villas where you can reserve and pay with Bitcoin. Also, we have a variety of restaurants in the area, and well, also we have the shopping. So from souvenirs to souvenir shops to clothing and jewelry boutiques, where you can even have pet accessories stores included that will accept or are accepting Bitcoin right now. Also, we have a variety of art galleries on our hubs that also accept Bitcoin right now. Um,
Mhm.
Experiences places, I mean, where you can rent ATVs, get horse rides, also adventure rides or adventure experiences, even though you can actually get into a hot air balloon trip and pay it with Bitcoin. And well, also we have a variety of nightclubs and bars where you can go and have a drink with a friend, or um, I don't know, you can have dinner also. And even though we have a mariachi that can be paid on Bitcoin, so that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That would make a good video.
imagine yourself going all around San Miguel de Allende, orange pilling people with your mariachi behind you. That would be awesome. So you can already pay a mariachi with Bitcoin, which is the first mariachi in Mexico that accepts Bitcoin right now.
That's awesome.
Also,
And then they got to
and my
split it up because it's like 10 mariachis, so they got to like send it to each one of them. They got
yeah.
they got to each have wallets.
Yeah, no, actually, well, that's an excellent question. We develop a system where you can, I mean, you know that Bitcoin adoption has been very slow because a lot of people or commerces have this hesitation about the changes on the Bitcoin price and well, all of this bad publicity that it's made on the webs on the networks. So we developed this system where you can, it's like a POS terminal where you can pay on Bitcoin, and
Hmm.
the commerce will receive pesos, Mexican pesos, as their payment. So we'll take the risk of the change of the Bitcoin price, and we'll get. I mean, we will make the pesos get to their bank accounts. So they start like accepting Bitcoin first, even though they don't keep the Bitcoin right now, but they will. I mean, they will start getting this experience of accepting Bitcoin, and well, after they see all these people and all these changes made on the community, where the people start paying more and more with Bitcoin, they will actually. They will actually be interested or orange pilled and start staying with their bitcoins, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's like a baby step in adoption.
Let me ask you a question, Alejandro. Bitcoin Hubs, is it a nonprofit or how is it structured? Like, where's the funding coming from?
Oh, that's an excellent question. We're part of a big company called Baldor, all right, which has different branches on it, and one of them is this project branch, where we're betting on the usage and acceptance of Bitcoin. So right now, we developed this application where the commerces can receive the Bitcoin, and well, since we're changing it to pesos, we're betting on the price change to go up, right? So it's like it's a way of mining Bitcoin, but we're doing the whole job of orange billing people and well, also well, getting these POS terminals to them so they can start this experience, and well, the funding will be, or the profit will be on with staying with the Bitcoin, right?
Hmm. So it's called Valor with a V.
Baldor, it's Baldor.
Ah, okay, that's actually your email address. Okay,
Yeah.
Baldor. So what's Baldor all about?
Baldor is a company that has, well, as I mentioned, different branches, but always looking to work with cryptocurrencies. So we have the area where we trade bitcoins to pesos and pesos to, I mean, like the whole sell and buy stuff. I mean, um, how can we say it? Yeah, it's selling and buying cryptocurrencies. Also, we have the investments on another branch, but well, this has nothing to do with Bitcoin hubs because this is focused all 100% on Bitcoin and the adoption.
Mm. This episode of the My Latin Life podcast is brought to you by Language Blend, the new best way to learn Spanish. Language Blend focuses on what you actually need to live and get by abroad with daily one-on-one lessons, a dedicated texting partner. It's like living in a Spanish-speaking country without ever leaving home. Go to languageblend.com for more information. Interesting. It doesn't say who the team is on the website for Baldor. Is it a Mexican team?
Yeah, we're more than 15 people that are working on Baldor on the different branches, and well, uh, they are. I mean, there we have a team focused on the commercing the cryptos. We have another team working on Bitcoin hubs, and well, but we don't promote our team yet because basically, I mean, we have just a few months working with this Bitcoin Hubs project, so that's why we haven't promoted. I
Interesting.
mean,
And is there a relationship with people in El Salvador? And I guess what's the relationship between Me Premier? Me Premier Bitcoin is basically its own organization, right?
yeah, it's a
And then
nonprofit
it's a
organization.
nonprofit organization. And does Baldor and Bitcoin Hubs, are they like officially connected to Me Premier Bitcoin in any way, or they're kind of like separate things that there's mutual benefit and they're just kind of helping each other?
Yeah, well, we created like an alley where we're helping Mi Primer Bitcoin. I mean, we're paying for the whole course. So, well, I mean, we created a relationship where we can help each other. I mean, we'll help them with donations and promoting them on the Bitcoin hubs that we have, and they will help us out with the education, right? So they're taking the whole education part with it.
Interesting. So you're their customer almost, but it's
Yeah,
more like an alliance.
yeah, it's like a collaboration between.
Okay, it's cool. No, I was just trying to understand if there was like an official relationship between the people in Mexico and the people in El Salvador, but it seems to be like its own separate thing for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. So we got San Miguel de Allende, and that's up and running basically, right? They must have just started the classes, the Mi Primer
Uh,
Bitcoin class.
That's an excellent question. Actually, we were about to get started on November, but due to the university stuff, we're changing this to start on January.
Okay, the start of the new semester. That
Yeah,
makes
the
sense.
official will be the official kickoff will be on January.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense because in the Andrew Howard episode, he was saying it was starting like in November, which would be like mid semester, which kind of
Yeah.
makes no sense. So, okay, January makes sense. Official kickoff. So that's basically locked in at this point. What's the next step in Mexico? Are we expanding to more cities?
Well, first we like to finish the whole experience on San Miguel. So we're working on organizing events there, always seeking for the acceptance of Bitcoin and within the local community, and well, we're always seeking for new commerces. So right now we have already around 50 commerces that accept Bitcoin on San Miguel,
Cool.
including transportation, including well, bars and clubs, experiences places, as I mentioned, art galleries, and
Antros.
also, and my favorite one is the most recent that we got, which is gas stations. So starting January 24, you'll be able to pay for your gas in Bitcoin.
That's kind of cool. Mine electricity, get gas.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, cool. So, send and are people liking it? Like, are you seeing that they're sticking with it? Because I think like in El Salvador, there was a bit of a thing where you know after onboarding people onto Bitcoin, they didn't really stick with it as much.
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, we've been working for around 6 months on San Miguel de Allende, and we're seeing a lot of acceptance. I mean, most of the people we are willing to learn about Bitcoin and use it. Andrew Howard already have a great network there where they actually get meetings on every almost every month, and well, we're seeing this community grow more and more. So I can really say that the acceptance and is growing more and more because they're willing to get these new technologies on them.
Cool. And so is the idea to expand in other cities? Would you start with maybe other cities in the state of Guanajuato or somewhere else in the country or
Well, the plan is that after we finish or get up and running as we like San Miguel de Allende, we'll expand to cities like Cancun, Tulum, always looking for small cities where the whole experience can be lived. I mean, not we're not looking for big cities yet, but the plan is to expand to all Mexico.
all Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Tulum, Playa del Carmen definitely makes sense, and because there's just so many crypto people there.
Yeah, we're looking for cities that have a lot of tourism, so they can they can I mean be attractive to tourists and well as well be more easy to use Bitcoin on the hubs,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, and I guess it's cool to have expats and digital nomads using it, and that'll be a piece of the puzzle. But you really want the local Mexican population to drive adoption, I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah, that's a main goal that the local population adopt the usage of Bitcoin,
Hmm.
and well, this will help us out to grow as a community, as a country, and well, as an economy, right?
And you used a phrasing that I found interesting in an email you sent to me. And you said, "We're sure that Mexico has everything to become an orange country. And that's why we created Bitcoin hubs." I like that phrasing of the orange country. Tell me a bit about that.
Well, I mean, we understand that the orange pilling it's a whole thing happening on the world, and well, as I mean, we look down to Salvador and see the growth that they have as a country after they get orange pill. I mean, we've been there like three times already, so we've we're witness of how the country has grown after the Bitcoin adoption, and well, that's what are we looking for Mexico. I mean, we're pretty sure that Mexico has everything. I mean, they has beautiful places. They have also they have great people, delicious food.
Hmm.
Can personally say that the best food in the world is in Mexico. Uh, so we have all the things to become a country that will that after accepting Bitcoin will grow exponentially, and that's why we refer to as an orange country. I mean, the goal here is to become a country that accepts, and maybe being optimistic that the can be accepted as a legal currency, right? As in El Salvador.
Mm. So speaking of, there's the dude Salinas. What's
Salinas
his name?
Pliego, yeah.
Have you guys gotten in contact with him?
Not yet, because he has well, it's difficult to get to Salinas Pliego. I mean, he's one of the richest people in Mexico. I guess it's the second one on Mexico after Carlos Slim.
Hmm.
But we want to make this thing like from the people to the people. I mean, starting with small
Grassroots.
business,
Yeah.
and I mean, he has already his own network and everything going on, running on I mean on his system. So
Yeah, he must have like a team that you can get in contact with, right? Like, because they're doing stuff with crypto. You guys are already making a lot of progress. The fact that you've got it into a university is huge. I feel like that's enough of a talking point to get a meeting.
Yeah, well, actually, it will be interesting to get in touch with them. We're not close to it, but we first like to make some more advancements by our own, and after that, we'll get in touch with them.
Doesn't hurt to send an email.
Yeah,
Okay,
uh,
cool, cool. Who are like some of the biggest Bitcoiners in Mexico?
that's an excellent question. Actually, well, Salinas Pliego was one of them. We can say that Baldor is one of the biggest traders in Mexico. I mean, we work with a lot of people that selling and buying Bitcoin, so we can be considered one of the biggest or one of the big ones. You know,
Hmm. Have you gotten in contact with Johnny Hoddle? You know this guy?
nah, not yet.
Okay, we have a podcast too. You can check him out on Twitter and stuff. He's based in Querétaro, I think.
All right.
Um, yeah, we have a podcast. It's not out yet, but it'll be out very soon. But good guy to get in touch with as well. I can send you an email offline. Who are some of the biggest like Mexican national Bitcoiners? Like, are there some famous ones other than Ricardo Salinas? Are there other like famous Mexican Bitcoiners?
Well, I'm not pretty sure because the most Bitcoiners that I know are from the States or outside the country. I mean, since we have this, I mean, the Baldor can be, I consider, how can I explain it? I'm sorry, I apologize for my English because I mean, I'm a Mexican dude and well,
Está bien.
I'm doing my best here. So, I'm not pretty sure who the biggest Bitcoiners will be in Mexico. I mean, national
Yeah,
Bitcoiners.
they're trying to keep it on the low, I guess. A lot of them.
Yeah, just Salinas Pliego that went out. I mean, it's impossible not to look to him. But recently, I get informed or I knew that Rodrigo Herrera, which is one of the sharks on Shark Tank Mexico,
Okay. Yeah.
has an important amount on Bitcoin.
Okay. Cool. You
So
know
he
who
can
I
be
like?
one of
I
them.
like Oso Trava. You know this guy?
Yeah.
Oso Trava. He's got a podcast. Anyone listening to this, check out this podcast. It's called the Cracks Podcast with Oso Trava, and he interviews a lot of the most important business figures in Mexico. And the podcast is in Spanish, so it's a good way to improve your Spanish. And really good guest there. And I imagine he's probably had a bunch of like crypto guests as well, or at least people with like a good amount of crypto.
Yeah. Awesome. So we'll take a look at him.
Hey guys, quick interruption to tell you about BitRefill. BitRefill is the best way to convert your crypto into gift card balances. These are gift cards that you can spend at hotels.com, Airbnb, Nike, and many more. You may remember Joel Valenzuela, previous podcast guest. He's been living on crypto exclusively since 2015, and he's a big consumer of BitRefill. And so I asked Joel, I said, what do you like most about BitRefill? He said that he likes the instant delivery, the precise amount so that you don't have to juggle a lot of gift cards, and he loves the global selection. Nobody else has this much selection of gift cards, over 10,000 gift card options across hundreds of countries. Go to bitrefill.com to sign up, and you can also use the code MyLatinLife for 10% back off your first purchase. Go to bitrefill.com for more information.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where are you based? Are you living in San Miguel or are you somewhere else?
No, we're located on Matamoros, right next to the border, San
Nah,
Tamaulipas.
you're in Matamoros. You're in
Yeah.
Tamaulipas. What are
Yeah.
you doing there?
we have our headquarters here.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
so right next to Brownsville,
Uh huh. Uh
uh,
huh.
and well, we're working on San Miguel.
Are you what's it called? Tamaulipeño?
No, I'm from Monterrey, Mexico,
Okay.
who came to live to Matamoros and work in San Miguel. So that's a big thing. I mean, I'm all around the country now.
Is it called Tamaulipeño, or am I saying that wrong?
Tamaulipeco.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Tamaulipeco.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a bit of a downgrade, no, from Monterrey to Matamoros.
It's a different experience. I mean, it's not as obviously it's not as big as Mexico, but I have the border 3 minutes from my office, so that's awesome.
Yeah, well, and you got the coast too, and the SpaceX thing, the
Yeah,
Starbase.
they recently launched a rocket last week. Everything got like
Shaking,
yeah.
temblando.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. All the way in Matamoros, it was shaking.
Yeah, because we're I mean in Matamoros they have like the beach called is it's called Baghdad, Playa Baghdad,
Yeah.
and well SpaceX is right next to it, so
Yeah, Boca Chica.
that's correct.
That's cool. So have you like driven out there to like watch a launch?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
Actually, on Saturday, last Saturday, they launched the SpaceX rocket, and we were there watching.
That's pretty sick.
It's kind of a big thing to the Matamoros guys. I mean, so they get together and go and go. You can go with your family and be on the beach and see the launches.
Why do they call it Playa Baghdad? Do you know the story? Is there a chisme?
Not I actually not been that long to get into it, but it's for it's actually a thing that was called that like that for a lot of I mean since lots of years hace mucho it can be told in Spanish. So a long time ago they call it like that and it stayed.
Okay,
But
cool.
not really. I'm not really sure why it's called that like that.
Playa Baghdad. I love it. Playa Baghdad right beside the Starbase.
Yeah,
That's cool. So do you have the 10 years tourist visa to go to the States?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's key, especially if you live right on the border. That's cool.
yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it's a must. That being right next to the border, you need to have your visa in order.
Mm. So for Mexicans, like what do you recommend as like a good tech stack for, holding Bitcoin and on-ramps and off-ramps? What should Mexicans be using? Like, do you recommend a particular exchange, a particular wallet?
Um, well, I mean, we always recommend you to hold with your Bitcoin,
Hmm.
but uh, we don't use a particular wallet. I mean, I know Aqua Wallet is doing pretty great things, and it'll be launched in January. So I can recommend you that one. Aqua Wallet will be awesome.
How do
I
you
mean,
call it?
Aqua Wallet,
Aqua wallet. Okay.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
Jan 3 project.
Oh yeah, Jan 3, sweet.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're doing great stuff with it. So I can recommend you that one.
Hmm. And Jan 3 is where Andrew
Andrew
Howard
Howard
works.
is, yeah, he's a CDO there.
Reminds me, I did have a question for you. What is Yopaki and what's the relationship with Yopaki and Bitcoin hubs?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Yopaki, it's a company that it's also working on the Bitcoin adoption. We
Uh-huh.
have we're in talks with them, with Gustavo Tristan. He's actually working there, and we're talking about a collaboration there. So they will actually doing great stuff with Bitcoin adoption also.
And it was Yopaki that there was like a Bitcoin meetup in Mexico City, right? And they like
Yeah,
blasted the Bitcoin logo on the wall of the
on
central
the
bank.
central bank. Yeah,
That was the
yeah,
Yopaki guys.
that was Yopaki. They'd actually do get a lot of people there on the meetup, and that's where we launched our notice of the education of Mexico. So actually, Andrew Howard gave the notice on it because he's like collaborating with us also, and he's one of our ambassadors,
Hmm.
right? So he's helping us out to spread the word.
Okay, so we got Yopaki, we got Jan3, we got Bitcoin Hubs,
Mi primer Bitcoin, that
Mi
it's
Primer
also.
Bitcoin. Are there any other hubs or big pieces of the puzzle in terms of organizations driving adoption in Mexico?
Well, we know there's another one on Mérida, Yucatan,
Hmm.
which I don't have the name right now, but they're also doing great stuff to adopting Bitcoin. Well, we know about Querétaro also doing great stuff on Bitcoin adoption there,
Hmm.
and well, in Mexico City also they're getting a lot of crowd orange pilled already.
Cool. And do you know Magic Sepnik?
Yeah, he's actually one of our ambassadors too.
Sweet. So
So
Magic's a previous podcast guest as well. Quick reminder: this podcast is My Latin Life podcast is sponsored by Bit Refill. Maybe you're
yeah,
familiar with Bit Refill as well.
yeah, of course. I mean, actually, I found out about my Latin life due to Magic.
Due to
He
Magic.
told me about the podcast, and I started listening, and yeah, I'm pretty. I'm a huge fan now.
Why? Thank you. Have you used Bit Refill before yourself?
Not yet, cause I mean, since we have all this thing work going on San Miguel de Allende, which is where I use my most of the Bitcoin.
Hmm.
So I mean, I do the payment directly on Bitcoin. But they're
Okay.
doing great stuff. I mean, they can get you to a lot things that you're not currently able to get on Bitcoin. So that's awesome.
Right. Telcel.
Yeah, uh,
That's cool.
Spotify, Uber.
So maybe if someone's listening to this and they're a big Bitcoiner, they could live in San Miguel de Allende or live in an orange pilled city in Mexico. They could buy gas and restaurants and nightclubs and all that stuff with Bitcoin. And then everything that's not covered locally in the economy, well, you got Bit Refill. You got Bit
That's
Refill
correct.
for your phone plan. You got Bit Refill for Amazon, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, they're actually like the complement of the Bitcoin hub.
There you
I
go. It's a
mean, everything that
compliment.
it's not on the hub, you can find it on Bitrefill.
Awesome. And by the way, guys, link in the description to create a Bit Refill account. Alejandro, you got to do it too. You got to create an account, bitrefill.com. And I have a affiliate link, of course, that people can use and get a little bit of free credit.
Awesome.
So that's cool. That works well together.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, they're doing great stuff, and we will be glad on working with them.
Hey everybody, hey everybody. Quick break from the podcast to tell you about Language Blend, the best new way to learn Spanish. Language Blend was co-founded by Jake Nomada, friend of the podcast, decade of experience in Latin America, and Jake and his team, they put everything into this program that they wish they had in terms of how to level up quickly with your Spanish language skills. Because the faster that you can get conversationally fluent in Spanish, the better the experience that you're going to have in Latin America. So go to languageblend.com for more information.
Awesome. So everyone kind of knows each other. Andrew, Magic, yourself. We got to introduce you to Johnny. I'm sure there's a few more pieces of the puzzle too.
Yeah, Gustavo, which is one of the Yopaki guys.
Hmm.
Also, the I don't know if you know Indira Kempes, which is located on Monterey. She's actually working with the government on Nuevo León. She's a senator there, and she's doing great stuff with Bitcoin also.
Okay. No, I don't know her, but I do know Gustavo. And actually, I'm going to DM him right now. Remind him we'll try to get a podcast together because he's the co-organizer of Bitcoin Querétaro and whole bunch of stuff. Yopaki Bitcoin, coinjoins.org, whatever that is. Cool. Okay. Good reminder on Gustavo and Jan 3. Where does Jan 3 fit into things?
Well, since we have this collaboration with Andrew Howard after he got his promotion to Gen 3, we're talking to them on doing great stuff together. I mean, we'll continue the collaboration with Andrew, and well, we're looking to add to our hubs
Mhm.
the capability of using Liquid on our POSs. So
What's
that's
liquid?
where we. I'm sorry.
What's liquid?
Liquid will be the capability of paying with stable coins using the Bitcoin network.
Okay,
So
cool.
using like Tether also will be a
Nice.
capability of our POSs.
So who the POSs are? Who's going to make the POSs?
We have the POSs right now. I mean,
Oh,
we have
really?
yeah,
Okay.
we have right now we have like 30 physically on San Miguel de Allende,
Mhm.
and well, we're about to get more to them.
So
So
where did you get the POSs from?
well, we imported them. I mean, we you can buy like a generic POS on the market. I mean, you can we brought it from China. And well, the thing is to program it and install the application that we have developed on.
Ah,
So that's what it makes it Bitcoin POS.
okay, cool. I should also introduce you to what's his name from Pacto POS. Geez, what's his name? Previous podcast guest. So Pacto is a POS system. They do like fiat POSs in Mexico City. So to
All
at
right,
least drive like credit card adoption. So they're putting POSs in taquerias and in other like local vendors and stuff like that,
all
so
right,
that they can sell more and have better accounting and so forth. It's called Pacto, Pacto.
all right,
Um, and it's a venture backed company, like the holding company behind Oxo and stuff like that invested in this company, and a
all
lot of
right.
people
That's
a lot of people from Monterrey invested in this company, and maybe you guys can talk to them and create some kind of crypto POS or something for Mexico.
yeah. Well, actually, I mean, we're not close to talking with them, and if there's a chance of collaborating, yeah, we can do it.
Yeah. What is this dude's name again? Ryan Croft. So guys can check out that episode as well. It's a really interesting one. Ryan Croft. So I can send an intro for him as well. So regarding the universities, I just wanted to ask this one more time. So are you speaking to other universities in Mexico now about getting the premier Bitcoin class into more universities?
Yeah, we're talking to different universities. Can not tell right now which they are, But
Okay.
yeah, we're talking to universities on Monterey. We're talking on universities on another university on San Miguel, which will complete the education branch there. And well, and then another parts of the Mexico, we're talking to them also. I mean,
Awesome.
since we have like a close relationship with the Chamber of Commerce and Services on San Miguel, we're we're able to get to these universities and commerces easily because I mean they open the doors to us since we're related to them, right? So that's also a great way to help adoption on your city. I mean, if you get involved with the Chamber of Commerce, you will be able to get access to different uh, commerces that are involved with them also.
Awesome. Amazing. Anything any questions I maybe forgot to ask, or things that you wanted to mention about the progress of Bitcoin hubs?
Um, well, we like to emphasize that visit San Miguel. It's a great city, and well, to also to say that you, I mean, using Bitcoin will actually help the spreading out. I mean, so use your Bitcoin, pay on Bitcoin. It's way better than paying on fiat. And well, come and live the experience. I mean, that's the thing that you need to. It's a must. I mean, if you're a Bitcoin enthusiast, you need to visit San Miguel and live the experience.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to visiting myself.
Yeah, so I mean, we can invite you guys to the kickoff of the education thing. So I
Is that in
mean,
January?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll see what we
So
can do.
there'll be like a whole thing going on there, and well, we'll be more than glad in inviting you guys. So
Awesome. Cool. By the way, is Garza your real last name? Because that's like a bird, right?
yeah, it's my
It's
real
like
last name.
it's like a heron.
Yeah,
It's like a stork thing.
yeah, it's very Mexican to get this kind of last names.
Yeah, cool, cool. I was just checking, or I don't know if it was your Bitcoin name, your semi-anonymous name.
No, I mean, I don't have a Bitcoin name as just Bitcoin Hubs. I mean, I use or I manage the networks, our social networks and Bitcoin Hubs.
Good stuff. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, man. Well, take this time to, direct the audience wherever you want to direct their attention to Bitcoin hubs and everything else.
Sure. You can find us on X, formerly Twitter, which nobody calls him X yet. You can find us as Bitcoin Hubs IO. Also, you can find us on Instagram as Bitcoin Hubs MX and in Facebook as well as Bitcoin Hubs MX. Okay,
Sweet.
give us a like there, and you'll be getting news of what we're doing in San Miguel and other cities in Mexico. Also, we'll be posting promotions and stuff of our commerces there.
Ooh. Cool. Well, congratulations on all the success so far. I feel like you guys have already overcome the hardest part, which is, getting the ball in motion, getting it into the first university, and really hoping that you guys have a snowball effect and you start getting it into more and more universities, and the adoption keeps growing. So, thank you for all the work you're doing driving technology adoption in Mexico.
Thank you guys for inviting us to your podcast. I'm sure that if we always have a friend or a known being that you can tell, hey, Bitcoin Hubs is doing great stuff in San Miguel, and that will help us out spreading the word and getting more people to San Miguel and living the experience.
Will do. Will do. So this has been another episode of the My Latin Life podcast. Again, my guest today, Alejandro Garza from Bitcoin Hubs. Thank you to Alejandro, and thanks to the audience for listening.